What's up, everybody? Back again so soon. It's December, and it's almost like, it's pretty much the equivalent of a summer box office where there's just so much movie to watch. Yeah, because, there's this movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You have freaking Bumblebee, Aquaman, Mary Poppins Returns. That's 3 other movies this month, so yeah, it's going to be a little crazy. And a lot of money's going to be spent. And I did Wreck-It Ralph 2 as well yesterday, so if you didn't catch that, it's on my channel. Check that out. Anyway, but we are going into Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, where we're about Miles Morales. Man, I apologize for not knowing the guy's voice actor's name. But yeah, he's a kid in Brooklyn. He's with his dad and his mom. His mom's a nurse, his dad's a cop. He hangs out with his Uncle Aaron occasionally. And, he's in a new school. He doesn't really, like it. He's a very smart kid, but he wants to fail on purpose so he can go back to his, just his old school, be with normal people. And, yeah, but one day, he gets bit by a radioactive spider. He's kind of confused on just kind of the crazy stuff that happens to him. He actually runs into Peter Parker. A Peter Parker from a different dimension. And because there was a machine that kind of went haywire, led by Kingpin. Created by Kingpin. And it's very interesting. But this Peter Parker from a different dimension is not the only Spider that came in. And that Peter Parker is voiced by Jake Johnson. And yet Haley Steinfeld, who plays Spider-Gwen. And then you have Peter Parker. And then you have freaking Nicolas Cage as Spider-Noir. Oh my gosh, it is great. And then there's another Spider girl in a Spider-Bot. I'm just gonna call her Spider-Bot. I don't know all the Spider-Man people, so sorry. I know the popular ones. Silk, Peter Porker. Well, I only know him because of this movie. I knew there was like a Spider-Ham or something like that. Yeah. Peter Parker, Spider-Gwen, Silk, and Miles Morales. It was this main Spider-Man. Anyway, movie was amazing. Animation style, fantastic. Very comic booky. You definitely couldn't get away with this in live action. I think the closest thing anyone's gotten to that style would be Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and that was not that did not get a huge audience. I think it's gained a cult following, but just it wasn't a huge audience over in the theater. So, no, but this movie, man, it pulled it off really good. It took a little while. There were a few moments in the animation where I was like, that's kind of weird. I didn't know if it was the 3D or if it was just its style, and it, when it focused on something else or on a certain figure on the camera, the other things would kind of, not only like be out of focus, but kind of have a double, kind of outline around it. I don't know if that was the style or if it was the 3D being in the way. But anyway, that wasn't too distracting. Colors were great, and the animation style was cool. So the girl that has the robot, she's Japanese, and it's anime style. So I thought that was really cool. So she's more shiny and than the other characters who are kind of more matched in for this comic book style. So she's like more manga looking than everyone else. And of course Spider-Noir is, more like the comic books from the 30s or 40s or something like that. Just kind of that style, a lot of black and whites and grays. And Peter Porker looks very Looney Tune-ish, I'll say that. He even says the line that Miles is like, "Is he allowed to say that?" Anyway, it was pretty funny. I really like the character development here for Miles. I mean, there's a lot of parallels with the Lego Movie, I would say, because the writers and directors of the movie, some of them worked on the Lego Movie, like Lord and Miller. They had a part in this movie. I don't think they directed it. I think some of them helped. I think one of them was a co-director and the other one was like a co-writer. Not quite sure. But they had a hand in it, and you can definitely tell because, Emmett is kind of the guy in the, he's kind of a nobody, and he, is called the special, and he, has a hard time picking up, what the special's supposed to be. And then he gets it, and, then he's able to do all these great stuff. Miles was like that too, he's kind of a average, well, he's not average, he's really smart, but, he's just kind of blending in, wants to blend in with the crowd, but the spider bite, it forces him to, try to, to learn his spider tricks, and it's kind of hard for most of the movie. He doesn't really, can't really do a whole lot, and, when he finally does, oh, it's so worth it. It's so worth it when he finally, gets his powers. There's a really cool sequence, that you see a little bit in the trailer, but there's so much more to it, and it's amazing. Yeah, he has a hard time connecting with his dad. He connects more with his uncle, Aaron. You have, and then this Peter Parker, his relationship with MJ does not go well. It ends kind of in a split. And, in the movie, or the trailer, alludes to that a lot. I had a feeling that, the relationship didn't go well. And so he's, dealing with that, and, being with Miles kind of helps him work with that. You have Spider-Gwen, who's pretty much one of the coolest, characters on there. Everyone loves her costume, for one, and, two, I don't know, I don't know if they tried to make her a love interest. I think they tried to make her like a sort of love interest, yeah, for Miles. Obviously she's from a different dimension, so you can't really do that. They didn't really, excuse me, go anywhere, and a whole lot with that. They did announce that they're going to make a sequel with her, so, maybe they'll do it in a future project, but, for now, she's just kind of somebody that sort of, like, gives sort of a gentle nudge, to, not fulfilling his destiny, but, finding who he is and embracing it and going all out with it. And, yeah, it was really cool. The other spider people are kind of there for either comedic effect or, they have some uses, but a lot of it is, just, for laughs. Nothing, incredibly special. It's mostly Gwen and Peter that do most of the encouragement and the motivation for Miles to, to become the Spider-Man that he was meant to be. And so anyway, it was really cool. Kingpin is the main villain here, and boy is he's actually a pretty good villain. I kind of mostly, because of the Netflix series, I pictured him more as a Daredevil villain, but he he is a villain in New York. Spider-Man, both, has in the comics, fought him in the past, and Kingpin was in the latest Spider-Man video game, Marvel's Spider-Man, for the PS4. So I kind of got used to or so it wasn't like jarring for me to see him in there. It was really cool, and yeah, and I liked his motivation for what he was doing. I thought it was really good. They didn't go a whole lot into it, but I don't think it needed to. We kind of knew, what he was doing, why he was doing it, and that's all really you need to know. It's not his story, it's Miles' story. I thought the soundtrack was really cool. It fit Miles' character, and then the excuse me, all the art direction with Miles' spray paint art. That was really cool. Yeah. So, is this the best superhero movie of the year? I think a lot of people are going to say that. I'm kind of on the side of Infinity War just because of the 10-year build-up and how worth it was, at least for me. Because when I first went into the theater watching that, holy cow, I was, it was just so exciting to just see everything unfold. Here, it was still, there were a lot of exciting moments in here. I will say it's one of the best Spider-Man ever, and the Marvel, or the MCU, is going to have a harder time getting the rights to Spider-Man if they ever want the rights, or if they can ever get the rights to Spider-Man. Sony lends the character out to the MCU. So, since this movie has I think last time I looked at 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty crazy. And with Venom, even though it has a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes, it made a buttload of money. So, they now have some leverage this year to work with the MCU and maybe, do a little more leverage. Yeah, just have some more bargaining chips on the table. So, I thought that this was going to be just an okay movie, because with the art style, for one, that kind of turned me off when I first saw the trailer. Even though it sort of looked cool, I just really wasn't into the style. But it grew on me, and then the writing won me over when I saw the trailer, like one of the other trailers for it. But I thought it was just going to be an okay movie, because I don't know, I just didn't really know a whole lot about it. So, but no, it turned out really good. It was worth it. They did a touching tribute for Stan Lee. He did voice a cameo in the movie, and it's in there. It's really nice. They honor Steve Ditko as well, who was also a creator of a lot of superheroes and one of the artists. So yeah, and there are 2 credit scenes, so stay for them. They're pretty funny, and they're worth it. So, I'm gonna give this movie excuse me, I'm gonna give it a Secret Handshake. Really good. I would watch it again. I'd buy it. Totally worth it. Add to my Spider-Man collection. It's the best Spider-Man movie they've done in a long time. I'm not really counting Homecoming because the MCU was kind of behind that movie, even though it was distributed by Sony. It's the best Spider-Man movie they've done since Spider-Man 2. And that's one of my favorite Spider-Mans. So go watch it. It's awesome. Alright, I'm Brian, and until next time, I will see you at the movies.